I'm Nicole Parker, and I am a couples therapist in Michigan. And if you have tried couples therapy or marriage counseling before and you've walked away feeling like it kind of really didn't help in the way that you wanted to, I want you to know that you're not alone. In fact, I would say like a good 30 or 40% of the couples that I talk to tell me that they have tried, that I'm like the second or even the third person that they have tried to work with. So today, I wanted to talk to you about why kind of a traditional therapy approach often falls short for couples and what actually helps to help couples reconnect and move forward. So, some of the things that I often hear from people who've tried before is like the sentiment of we kind of just found that we ended up rehashing whatever our latest argument was. Like whatever had just happened, that's what we talked about. Like kind of just going in a circle. Another thing I hear is one partner saying, like, I felt like I was ganged up on. I felt like it was my spouse and the therapist versus me. So kind of triangulate it in. And then generally just feeling like there was a lot of talking, but not a lot of change, not like tangible changes that they could feel and see. So, in my view, many therapy experiences don't offer what couples who are in distress actually need, which is a clear structure, a forward moving plan for change, and like practical tools that people can use outside of the therapy room. So that's why the approach that I use is a bit different. And today I wanted to talk you through the 3 shifts that I have made in my work to create like real and lasting connection for couples. So the first is we have to kind of move from putting out fires to having a real plan for change. Most couples in therapy get stuck reacting to, like, there's this phrase like, we're only as good as our last argument, right? Whatever just happened, that's kind of how good we are. And it's all about who said what to whom, what just happened, right? So without a clear and specific plan, I find that we end up just chasing the latest symptom. But what really actually creates meaningful change in one direction, not lots of little changes in lots of little directions, is really kind of evaluating what patterns are keeping people stuck. What are the most impactful things, the most effective changes and shifts that we can make together? So that's the difference between moving from like a short-term relief, just taking the stress off what just happened, to kind of lasting, deep transformations, all right? And in my line of work, we kind of talk about like first order change, surface stuff, and second order change, like really changing how we approach everything. So we have to have a bigger perspective, bigger picture, because otherwise we'll just be on the hamster wheel. The second shift that I really try to make is moving away from like my role as like playing referee to actually coaching lasting connection. So a big complaint, as I said, that I hear is one partner, or sometimes even both partners, feeling kind of ganged up on, like as if the therapist is siding with one or the other in issues and in conflicts. And I find that that can happen when a counselor steps into the role of like being too involved in the issue. We don't want to judge. I don't have an opinion here. It's not my role to decide who's right or who's wrong. That's not my approach at all. In fact, if I take any side at all, it's not that your side or your side. Like, I'm thinking from the side of what is in the best interest of the relationship, right? A conflict has to be like, what's good for the relationship is ultimately the most important thing. So I stay outside of the issues per se, so that my role really is to coach you up on how to handle hard moments well, right? So I can't get in there. I'm not going to take sides. And that's just not an effective approach, really, because maybe that leads to, again, that short term, like maybe there's one issue that gets, like, we find a solution for something, but that hasn't helped you in any meaningful way about being able to find common ground together. So it's not about solving every single little problem that comes along the way, right? It's really about helping you to solve problems more effectively and more lovingly on your own, which leads to my kind of next shift that I really try to make, which is moving away from like open-ended sessions to a clear end goal. I often hear from couples this feeling of, it just felt like we were showing up week after week, but we really didn't kind of know where we was going. There wasn't really like a direction. And that is why I always work from a roadmap. I try to have a clear structure. There's an assessment, we're creating a plan, and then we're working towards knocking out goals and working towards those plans. So from the beginning, we name really specific goals around emotional closeness, around sharing teamwork, around physical intimacy. So like, we have really clear goals so that you know what you are building towards. I always think to myself, like, my goal is to work myself out of a job here. This is not meant to be a forever process. My aim is to really equip you with all the tools, the confidence, the skills, everything that you need so that you can reconnect without always needing an outside help from somebody. So those are my like 3 big shifts that I take, that I believe are really important in creating like a meaningful and lasting transformation experience for the couples that I work with. Now, if that is the kind of support that you think your relationship might need, something with direction, like tools, a real focus on getting results, then I would love to talk. I offer a free consultation call where we can explore whether my approach might be a good fit for you and for your relationship. So go ahead and click the link below, and I invite you to book a time that works for the two of you, and let's talk together, and let's see if we can work on getting you from feeling like roommates back to feeling like soulmates once again.